up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday NFL Draft Day edition of Morning. Scone. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble. Wow. Hi. Morning.
Scone.
Presented by...
Brock.
Indeed. Morning Scone presented by Brock. Drew's here. We're all here, right? Right, bud? Right?
See mommy.
What?
See mommy.
See mommy. You can see mommy after Dad's show. How about that? After Dad's show, then you can see mommy, okay? All right. Stephen Miller, what's up, dude? Julio Mendez, what's up, dude? Shelby Kelly, what's up, dude? Stephen Bro, what's up, dude? Craig Schilling, Cheryl, good morning. Dan Dakota, hey, Dad, good morning. Zachary Courtney, good morning. Matthew Rogelio, good morning. Hal Jubin, Irfan, Robert Barlow, John Ditch. We got a good crowd already. Drew's Foods beeping right now. I'm going to hit the share button to my personal account. Hopefully you'll hit the share as well. Be right back. Drew's Foods is in here. Let's see. Did you make a happy plate? Okay. There you go. Okay, let's see. NFL Draft Day. I love today. By the way, announcement. Companion show tonight. Me, Jacob Hester, Matt Flynn, T-Bob Abear. Companion show tonight for the NFL Draft. So if you're watching the draft, of course, you want to see who gets picked, where, but realistically, like, do you want to hear a bunch of people yammer on about college football players that don't watch college football? Like, do you want to hear Mel Kiper and a bunch of... Well, maybe Mel Kiper watches college football. Move fast. Okay. But, I mean, you want Keyshawn and all the NFL analysts, the guys that don't watch college football? No. Come on, man. Me, Hester Flynn, T-Bob, probably eating Pluckers, probably drinking whiskey. Companion show tonight for the draft. Y'all tune in on the ESPN Facebook page. We'll share it and all as well, of course. So draft day tonight. What y'all want to see the Saints do? Stay pat. They don't pick till 62, so don't pick to the end of round 2. And just y'all hear yes, John Peterson yesterday came on AFR and announced he's making a comeback to golf. So pulling for him for sure, man. Good guy. He and his wife just had their second child, a little baby girl. So they have a son that's 18 months. And then they just had their daughter. So he had been for 7 months working up. Remember, he retired from golf, so he just didn't love the schedule of professional golf. Retired from golf, got an office job, and told us. I texted John yesterday. He and I had talked about him coming on Masters Week. Well, his daughter was born, I think, the Wednesday before the Masters. So, or maybe Tuesday. So I was like, hey man, just don't even worry about it. Just do, go do the things that are way more important than doing a radio show. Well, I hadn't talked to him since. Of course, Tiger wins, and then this is Zurich week. I was like, hey, let me call John again. So I reached out to him. Yesterday I was like, hey man, you want to come on and talk Zurich, talk Tiger, just life, your family and all that stuff. So he's like, yeah, but you should know that I'm coming back to golf. I was like, huh? So yeah, I mean that wasn't even the intended reason for having John. It wasn't like he was coming on to make his grand announcement. I was just having him on to talk about Tiger Woods and Zurich and all that stuff, and he happened to be at Monday qualifier school this week, so he's got to go on his own dime on Monday to, I think if you're in the top 14, you qualify for a spot in that weekend's event, and if you qualify, then you obviously have to make a cut to make money. So, I mean, and I was like, man, you get, and that's all web.com as I understand as well. It's not even PGA Tour. Anyway, he's trying to get back on the web.com tour, and so then if you finish a certain spot on the money list in the web.com, then you get your PGA Tour card. I was like, man, you get like sponsors exemption, because like if he were to get a sponsors exemption to Zurich, for example, he could go play Zurich, and if he had a great finish, potentially could get some kind of status, provisional status or something. But he said, no, I just want to do it. He's like, I don't want to take a shortcut. Like, I just want to go do it. So I'm like, okay. Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool story, man. Let's see. Brian Arsenault, Bobby Rogers, Brian Myers, good morning. Noel Kinberger, good morning. Joe Jubal, what's up, dude? Shelby Kelly, this is the most checked out I've ever been on the draft. It's interesting, isn't it? It's because the Saints don't pick for 62 picks. Like, they don't pick all round one, and then they don't pick to the end of round two. So normally, if you have a round one pick, and like think about it a year ago, Saints were at the end of round one. There was so much conversation about if they would take a quarterback last year, and then it was like, okay, who might be there at the end of round one? We talked pass rusher, we talked defensive lineman, and of course they move up, and so then it becomes immediately more interesting, because you have that all that dialogue about them trading up to go get Davenport, which I love that they did, by the way. Still do. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, it definitely coincides with the fact that you've got the Saints don't have a pick, but you've got two LSU guys that are going to go in round one, and I think Devin White's going to go to Tampa. I hate to say that. I hope Vegas takes him. Oakland. Eventually Vegas. Because I think he could be the face of that Vegas franchise. I am pulling so hard for Devin White to go before Tampa. Because if Tampa's on the board at 5, or when Tampa's on the clock, if Devin White's on the board, he's going to Tampa. Remember, Quan Alexander just left in free agency, signed with San Francisco. So, they need a linebacker, and that's a guy that could be your starting middle linebacker for the next 15 years. Josh Long, what's up? Kelly Hunt, good morning. Hey, Dawn, good morning. AJ Holland, good morning. Hey, Aunt Linda, good morning. Stephen Bro, have you seen the Darren Ravel video of him running the 40? Yes, I have. Darren, from time to time, has done certain things like that. Like there's a video of him as well playing pickup basketball, and like he's guarding the ball at the top of the key, and whoever it is, it's an NBA guy, kind of gives him like a pump fake, and the way Ravel backpedals is just comical. You can tell he just doesn't move well. I don't know what his deal is with that, but because it looks like something's wrong the way he runs and moves. Like something's clearly very wrong. But anyway, the average human has a little more agility than that. But yeah, I know everybody's going to crush it because of that. And then he was talking about the gymnasts, could celebrate second place. Mikhail Trailer, good morning. Jason Hatcher, good morning. Ho, 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 ho. Colby Touye. K. Wayne, my dude.
See mommy.
See mommy. Okay, listen to me. Hey, come see, I'll tell you something. Listen, we're going to do Dad's show. Listen. Then after Dad's show, then we'll see mommy, okay? And when you see mommy, you can see mommy's phone, and then mommy will take you to abilities. Who do you see today? Who do you see on Thursday? Michael and Catherine. Yep, it's your favorite day of the week. You get to see your best friend in the world. That's not true, because Dad is your best friend in the world, right? Right. Josh Long, awful weather up here in North Louisiana. I saw on Twitter pictures at Louisiana Tech. Oh my God, was it tornadoes or was it just high winds? I mean, it looked awful. Dude, I hope y'all stay safe up there, man. Matthew, what happened to the Riot podcast yesterday? Did Terrio stand you up? Yes. He didn't stand me up, he canceled. So normally we do it on Tuesdays. We obviously had the Scott Woodward press conference Tuesday. So I called him. I was like, hey man, Woodward press conference Tuesday. Can we do the podcast on Wednesday? He said, sure. He's lined up. Paul's lined up. We're all ready to go. Yesterday around 9 a.m., he calls me. I was actually recording the Locked On podcast. Oh man, I forgot I had a meeting today. Oh, I can't do the podcast. Par for the course. Golf analogy. Robert Blackwell, Brian Wynn, Jackie Caruso, what's up? You had me for the companion show right up until the last person. Oh, T-Bob. Yeah, no. But it'll be fun to watch just so I can verbally pimp slap him. How about that? Linda. Oh, hey, Linda. Let's see. Good morning. Jamie Levine. Man, you just can't shake T-Bob on the companion shows. I know. Will T-Bob bring his sword? Probably, because he's an idiot. But I think the most interesting part of the last companion show was when I was trying to do the read for, I think it was for 19 Crimes. I was doing the plug for 19 Crimes, and T-Bob was stepping all over, and I told him, I just told him to shut the hell up. Like, see, that's, sometimes you got to know, all right, the personality, the bit, all that's fun, but sometimes you got to know when to turn it off. Even just for a minute. Edward Cooper, good morning. Brian Wynn, Justin Nicholson, no Ride podcast this week. Just talked about that. Let's see. Mark McCarter, Bama buying players. Who knew? So I know that's a headline that everybody latched onto with Bama, and it was Penn State. It's a bunch of schools actually. I think North Carolina was in there as well. But it is important to note, like as inconvenient as this is for the people that just want to crap on Bama for buying players, that wasn't Alabama facilitating payments. That was a guy who's a financial advisor paying prospects to become his clients once he was funneling them cash so that they would become his clients whenever they got to professional football. That's different than Alabama. Donald Duck. That's different than Alabama facilitating payments to get prospects to sign. Does that make sense? So, like, it's... Oh, you are watching Donald. Okay. Anyway. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not saying that it's not a violation, because if a prospect accepted an illegal benefit and played, then he's ineligible, and if you were using an eligible player, then they're sanctioned. So I'm not saying it, but that's different from school uses intermediary to funnel cash to prospects to sign with them. Does that make sense? So it's not exactly, at least this, I'm not saying it never happens, of course it happens, but I'm just saying that in this instance, with that's a different story than... And if y'all didn't see, that's the federal trial in New York. There was a witness in that federal trial who implicated college football, not implicated programs. He just, he's a, God, wind's blowing bad here. Anyway. So Mark, the way you said it, Bama buying players, isn't exactly true. It was a financial advisor paying college athletes while they were in school to become his client whenever they got to Pro Bowl. Does that make sense? Craig Schilling, companion show, swords up, T-Bob. Let's see. Justin Ray, Saints fans want Devin White and Quentin Williams to be drafted by the AFC. I'm all for that. Would not hurt my feelings at all. Mark, Zurich Classic Day 1 of the West Bank will wash out. I don't know, man. Weather's terrible. Drew? T-Bob's probably drinking wine coolers or a Lime-A-Rita. He'll probably... T-Bob's a Scotch guy. We'll see if we can get what kind of booze we might be able to get in there. We normally sip on a little something while we do those shows. Hey, bud. Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. What are you watching? Donald? Mickey Mouse. Yes, you are. Let's see. Mark, good morning. Griffin's going to keep Anthony Davis. Wow. We'll see if he can, Mark. I mean, I think yesterday I said I'd put it at 30%. Griffin was on the jump and he talked about it. It's better than 0 at this point, but I don't know that I would go so far as to say that it's going to happen. Anthony Davis is still all the way out the door. So, of course, they want to keep him, and I think that relationship between Griffin and Rich Paul could be beneficial, and you still can offer him the Supermax. So I think you just have to very clearly lay out a strategy to get players around him. Can you do that? We'll see. Let's see. Ryan McGuire, what's up, dude? Darren Birchka, good morning. AJ Holland Peterson is wanting to get out of the house. Hi. He told us yesterday that he was basically working dark to dark, like he was out of the house before the sun came up, and he was go to Fresh Market. Did we do that last night? Did Drew and Daddy?
Donald Duck.
Are you watching Donald Duck? Donald Duck. It's, and to John's credit too, in that interview yesterday, he said, because I asked him, because when he walked away, I asked him, and he was like, man, no regrets. He was totally at peace with walking away from professional golf. And, I asked him yesterday about this. You said you were totally at peace when you left. I mean, was it something pulling you back, or did you have a regret? And he was like, sometimes you just don't know how good you have it until it's gone. And it would be good for him, though, for at least, he stepped away when he needed to, realized it wasn't for him, he can go back. I mean, it's good for him. You know what I mean? It's like, instead of doing something you hate, make decisions that you think are going to make you happy and are best for your family. I mean, good for him, man. A lot of people stay in the job that they hate just because of security or comfort or whatever the case may be, man. I'll respect that guy, taking a chance while he's 30 years old. Yeah, man, it's got his whole life to live. Shoot your shot. Ronnie Dugas, good morning. Brian Arsenault, who knows? It may be the start of Matt and T-Bob PM show every weekday. No shot. No shot. I would not work with T-Bob every day. No way. Matthew, you broke the news first. Scone newsbreaker. I'm not a newsbreaker. Actually, there's a Twitter account that follows Monday's Q School, the qualifying school, and they tweeted this Monday that John Peterson was in the field. So I guess technically, they at least had that, but to whatever degree, breaking news that John's back in golf is breaking news. Cool. We're hearing you and T-Bob are going to carpool to Zurich. That is factually inaccurate, Justin. Darren, might as well trade next year's draft to draft now. You see, I'm not opposed to that because a couple of reasons. Okay, and here's why. First and foremost, you're close to winning. So if there's a prospect that's there that you're in love with, that you think has fallen, let's say you have a prospect rated as a top 12 guy and he's sitting there on the board at 23. And so you trade your next year's one and number 62 in this draft to go up and take this guy that you just love at 23. Because you think he's an instant impact guy. Cool. Because you're trying to win now, and if this guy's going to help you now and you feel like that and you get great value for him, awesome. I'm good with it. Totally good with that. That's one. Two, the reality is the Saints don't have many holes on their roster. We could go up and down the Saints roster, and if you're looking at the 53-man and go, okay, well, how many spots realistically are there? That's not to say you can't get better, like if you draft a player that kicks someone at the bottom of that positional rotation out. But realistically, what you've done in free agency and the fact that you have drafted well of late, there just aren't a ton of roster spots to be had. It's not like you're drafting 10 guys and 8 of them are going to make the roster. Realistically, just like last year, I mean, you had guys that are NFL players who can make an NFL roster that didn't hang, like Boston Scott, for example. I mean, you had to sign him the practice squad. Philly signed him because he can play. But, in a different year, you're probably Boston Scott makes the team and he contributes. But last year for New Orleans, you had Alvin Kamara, you had Mark Ingram. It's like, where do you slot him in, So I think that's another reason why I'm not saying you don't value the draft and draft picks, because of course, like, you want, young draft picks that pop, and then you have them on rookie deals. They're dirt cheap while they're in their, in their young years. But if the Saints had 10 picks in this draft, not all those guys are making the team, So I'm okay with it, man. I'm okay if they trade up and trade future assets. Now the question is, okay, well, let's say Drew Brees retires, and then all these rookie deals start coming due. Like, you're going to have to pay Mike Thomas, you're going to have to pay Alvin Kamara, you're going to have to pay Ryan Ramczyk, you're going to have to pay Marshawn Lattimore, and you're going to have to pay Marcus Williams. Like, all these guys rookie deals are going to come due, and you're going to have to decide who you're going to pay. Andrews Pete is obviously still lingering out there as well, and all that's very true. And you can't pay everybody. And so when that happens, then you're going to need the draft to replenish. So you want those assets then, but that's not now. And I would definitely say, if you can win a championship now at the expense of a couple of years of a rebuild, I'd take it like Denver. Denver went all in to win a championship with Peyton Manning. They surrounded him with everybody. They got DeMarcus Ware, they got Aqib Talib, and they went and just built this awesome roster around Peyton to give it a go. And they made a couple of Super Bowls and they won one. And now you're kind of seeing the backside of that, where they're not as competitive as they're trying to rebuild their roster and find their quarterback. And maybe they have it with Flacco, or maybe they don't. But, like, I don't think anybody in Denver is apologizing for this little dip because they got their Super Bowl, And I kind of feel the same way about New Orleans. But you got to get the Super Bowl. Can Mrs. Benson use AD to get Devin White? Probably not. Jamie, I want the Saints to move up and take the defensive lineman from Mississippi State. Can't remember his name, but looked like a man among boys in college. You're either talking about Jeffrey Simmons or Montez Sweat. Now, Sweat is a pass rusher that's going to be gone in the top 10. So you're probably talking about Jeffrey Simmons. And Jeffrey Simmons tore his ACL in draft prep. So he was a guy that was probably a top 10, top 15 guy that's going to drop, potentially even into round 2. So, especially if you get to round 2 and you can move up to get Jeffrey Simmons at the top of round 2, I do it. But you're probably not going to get anything out of him next year. Like, he's probably going to miss next year. Matthew Masterson, good morning. Ronnie Duga, Chris Robert, Sean Pumphrey, Edward Cooper, John Corbello. What's up, John Corbello? Hashtag Corbello for Heisman. Ben Clark, good morning. Sean, Stephen Miller. Are we going to run Jake Slaughter, Chris Reed 2.0 debate when Chris Reed comes back? I don't think so, man. And the difference is Reed has been too consistent all year. And while this has been a nice week, 10 days for Bianco, I think realistically you understand Reed he's got the highest on base percentage on the team. Like, I don't even think that's a question. You need that guy in your lineup every day. I think the good thing with Bianco is you realize, if nothing else, you've got a good backup there, and you've got a right-handed option at DH. Just my feeling on it, but I don't think there's any question. Donald Duck Fast? Okay. Donald Duck Fast. There you go. Donald Duck Fast. Shout out to our friends at Brock L. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. 5 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Remember their Livingston location. You take I-12 to Walker. Exit Walker to the right. About a mile down on the right. Can't miss them. Blaine Allen, what's up? Wind got bad in West Monroe, man. Hate to hear that. Sorry, man. For everybody up there, y'all be safe. James Morgan, good morning. Charlie Gale, good morning. Kirk Taylor. Steven, T-Bob doesn't know when to turn it off or drop the bit. Hopefully no swords getting poked tonight, bro. Huh?
Nibble fast.
Nibble fast. Is Nibble on? We can put Nibble on if that's what you want. Nibble is the okay. Hey, look, let's watch Prince Pete and then nibble fast, okay? Nibble is the word of the day in one of the Sesame Street episodes that Drew likes. It's Get Lost, Mr. Chips. It's the Cookie of the Month Club. So anyway, let's see. Got a meeting at Guarantee at 9, so I have to shower. Hey, Jimmy Vadrine, what's up, man? You can ride in an elevator. I know you love to do that. Okay?
Down.
What?
Down.
You want to go down on the elevator? Do you like to go up? Up and down? Okay. That's true. All right, Lori Prophet, good morning. Justin Ray, Zurich on Saturday. Drew, come. Drew is not. I'm going, though. Me and Erica and Erica's sister and her husband are heading down there. My pops is going to go. Erica's dad's going to go, too. So we're going to pop. Actually, the girls are not coming to the golf tournament. We're going to go just stay the night in New Orleans. So. I love you.
Why?
Ride in elevator. Patient? Yeah, you do. Thank you. You do have to be patient when you wait for the elevator. Let's see. Lowell Cormier. The Saints should telecommute for the first round of the draft tonight. No. Dusty Revere. Josh Long. Trade AD to Boston for Tatum. Role player and first round pick, get that cancer of an attitude out of the locker room ASAP. I disagree with players like him. I don't think he's a cancer. I think this whole situation was very negative. He handled it poorly, but I don't think it was AD. I think he got very bad advice. You don't go from being a really good guy your whole career for 7 years to just all of a sudden flipping a switch and being a jerk. I just think he got bad advice. Huh? Nina needs to go? Okay. Let's see. Troy, good morning. Keep the phone away from Drew today. Done. Erica's still in the bedroom sleeping. She's got her phone. They're off of school this week, so letting her sleep in. Sam Dixon, John Malawsaw, Brian Wynn. Why is everyone so down on T-Bob? Have you met him? Jason Garlington, good morning. Shannon Doiga, good morning. T-Bob's not a bad guy. He just catches hell in the little brother sort of way. That's kind of it. Yeah, that's kind of it. Let's see. Darren Pellegrin. What's up, Darren? Good morning. Rebecca Ferguson. What's up, cuz? Charlie Cavell. Jake Moses. What's up, dude? Jack Davis. Foster Moreau to the Saints. Probably not, because the Saints don't have a 3rd or 4th round pick, and they're not going to use it in round 2. They're not taking Foster in round 2. And I think he'll be off the board when they pick again. Let's see. Charlie, good morning, Matt and Drew. Have you seen damage the tornadoes did at Tech? I did, Charlie. I saw, actually, we talked about this like right when we popped on. Someone up there, I think Josh, who's up in North Louisiana, mentioned. I did see the pictures on Twitter. That's awful, man. I know it's trivial to say at this point, but your property can be rebuilt, man. I just hope everybody's okay up there. That it looked awful. Let's see, Steven. Speaking of Reed and Watson, do they play this weekend? Also, should we expect to see Dugas? Reed and Watson, yeah, I would expect they start. That's everything I've been told. That they were fine and probably could have played the other night. There was no reason to. And as far as Dugas, man, I told you about a month ago that they were targeting the Alabama series, so I think they are going to get him in the game. And you're probably, I don't think he starts, but I mean, let's say let's say he gets a pinch hit opportunity at the end of game 1 and comes through. Maybe they start him at second in game 2. And if he struggles defensively for whatever reason, you can always go to the bench, get Broussard. So, Elmo Chicken Fast? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So, Steven, I guess to answer your question, I think you will see Dugas in the game at some point. Pinch runner, pinch hitter, defensive substitution, something. I don't know that he starts, but I mean, I was told a month ago that they were targeting Lamar to have him available and then to play and to have him for the Alabama series. So, I mean, he took some BP earlier this week. I think they did a sim game with Dugas, and then with Watson and Reed. They did a sim game with him, and it's good to go, man. Matt Lusto, Nola can kick rocks, no more umps, K-Zone. Aaron Nola said we don't need robo-umps. Talked about that yesterday on AFR. Not Aaron Nola, but about how it's time for robo-umps. I'm all for it. But I understand why pitchers don't want it, because pitchers want the call off the plate. I mean, that's why. And they want, especially if you're a good pitcher and you're going to get a little more liberal strike zone, you want that. Like, you want the call that's a little bit off the black. You don't get that if it's a robo ump. I mean, you have to be more precise. Justin, if the deal with Brock ever ends, Fresh Market or Albertsons would probably love to sponsor the show. It used to be Home Depot. Remember Home Depot? Craig Savoy, Trey Dykes. Let's see. Let's do a couple more minutes here, y'all. Sorry to rush, but got a 9 a.m. meeting up at Guarantee, so I need to shower and get downtown. Let's see. Dusty Revere, kind of hard to suck it up for AD when they don't put anyone around him. Did KD get bad advice too? You know what, Shelby? I understand your point. I just don't know. I wasn't in Oklahoma City, obviously, to know how all that went down.
Mommy.
After Dad's show, then we'll go see Mommy, okay? We're almost done. But it's one thing just to leave. It's another, though. I don't blame Anthony Davis for wanting to leave. That's not the point. I understand why he wants to leave. And I don't agree with the decision. I say stay where you are and build something for yourself. But that's not my decision to make. Everyone makes their own decision, their own path. So, God bless. Wish you luck. How Anthony Davis handled the separation is what I think has rubbed so many people wrong. John Capone, good morning. Any more? John Capone, little dudes get big, he is. Man, Leroy Blanchard, good morning. Okay, we are done with the comments, so that means, and it's right on time. And again, a little bit of an abbreviated episode than what we normally do, guys. But appreciate y'all so much for watching, as always. Shout out to Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. If you, family member, kiddos, remember, they've got pediatrics. If you're in need of an orthopedic, get any injuries, shoulders, bumps, bruises, elbows, knees, feet, ankle, hips. They do back, neck. They do it all, man. They're the best. All the LSU team docs are Brock docs, so it's good enough for LSU. Chip Bankston's the Saints team doctor. He's a Brock doc, so it's good enough for the Saints and for the LSU guys, all the LSU guys and gals. Certainly good enough for all of us. So Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Oh, let's go say bye to Drew, and then I will. Then we'll bounce. Remember, companion show tonight. Can you say bye to Dad's show? Hey, Drew, can you say bye to Dad's show? Hey, say bye.
Bye, Georgia.
Bye, Dad's show.
Mwah.
He blew you a kiss.
Mwah.
Oh, that was very sweet, Drew. Okay.
Bye, Georgia.
Bye, Dad's show. Are we going to go see Mommy now?
No.
Yeah. All right. See y'all later.